Morning San Antonio starts right now.
And a good Tuesday morning to everyone out there. It is August 13th. Hey, we are back in the studio this morning, Japhanie. But it, of course, is another big day, a back-to-school day across our area.
That is right, exactly. San Antonio ISD and Edgewood ISD are back. And we have our own Devin Carp and Patty Sato standing by live for those school districts in just a moment. But that's not all, right, RJ?
No, definitely not. We got a lot of schools starting class today. That includes Great Heart School, Idea Public Schools, Lytle ISD. Shout out to the Pirates out there. Medina Valley ISD. The Panthers are also back. You see those schools behind me right here. And we mentioned some of the other schools in our area that are starting things up, including Edgewood. And it's going to be another hot one out there.
Another hot one out there. Justin Horn joining us right now. Again, those portable fans we were talking about a couple weeks ago. Maybe that's something that the kids can have today.
That's not a bad idea at all. Those would help. And by the way, RJ, shout out to you for your mascot knowledge. Impressive. You know all the mascots.
Thank you. I appreciate
Incredible.
that. Justin,
Let's bring in the school bus. Yes, we're forecasting 79 this morning, 99 this afternoon for the school bus. If you're getting on this morning, it's going to be warm, but blazing hot this afternoon. And yes, a lot of the school buses do have AC now, so that is helpful. But it is going to be very, very hot again today. We reached 100 yesterday, so now we add to our total. We have 16 days this year at 100 or above. And this tally will only go up. We're putting together a string here of triple-digit days. We had 47 at this point last year. So as we've been saying, it's better than last year. In fact, last year we were in the midst of a 23-day 100-degree streak. So we're not there, but I do think we're going to put together a pretty impressive streak of our own this year. Right now, 80 in San Antonio, 77 in New Braunfels, 78 Converse, mid-70s for Bernie and Kerrville. The heat does intensify some. We're going to look at that heat high, where it is, where it's moving, and the latest on Ernesto, which formed yesterday. That's coming up in just a couple minutes.
All right, good stuff there, Justin, and we are glad to be back with Justin this morning on a Tuesday here as we take a look at our TransGuide traffic cameras, and things looking pretty good out there right now. If you're about to step outside, and of course we're going to have a lot more kids on the roads. We got NEISD going yesterday, SAISD, so just keep in mind that a lot of places around the downtown area, the west side, the east side of town, Sam Houston High School out there, we're going to have a lot more activity on the roads as we get through the rest of our morning. But for right now, things are looking pretty good out there as we start school with SAISD. All right, with classes about to start, the San Antonio Independent School District announced a plan to make sure that high temperatures don't interfere with learning. Superintendent Jaime Aquino sent parents this letter that you see right there outlining how SAISD schools will be kept cool for students. He says, first, as we speak, custodians are now checking classroom temperatures before students arrive this morning. And according to the state administrative code, they should range between 72 and 76 degrees during the summertime.
So if the classrooms cross that threshold, schools can do the following. They can use the portable AC units, move students to other areas of the campus where it's cooler, or as a last resort, you can move the students to another campus. The president of the San Antonio Alliance, which represents local teachers and other school staff, called the plan a, quote, positive step, saying that it's important to let parents and staff know exactly how leaders are preparing to protect their students.
And keep this in mind, HVAC issues are nothing new for SAISD. You may remember back in January, the day after MLK Jr. Day, we reported on this. SAISD canceled classes for days because the heating systems in many of those buildings were not working. And this morning, though, SAISD students, teachers, and parents are all excited about the return to class.
Our very own Devin Carp is live at San Antonio ISD Middle School to get our first look at the back-to-school day there.
Yeah, good morning, Japhanie and RJ. Now, I'm here at Rogers College Prep Middle School. Now, if you're wondering what that is, those extra couple words in there, that means it's smaller classes with students tackling subjects that are a little bit ahead of their grade level in order to give them an edge up. But right now, we're sitting here waiting for these students to come in for the first bell starting at 8:35. Now, later on in the shows, I'm going to be talking to the school principal about some new changes that are happening to these facilities. But in the meantime, we're right here. We're ready for some of these students to come in. Now, for them to come in, they need to do a couple things ahead of time. You need to make sure that you're registered, have all your classes figured out before you're stepping foot into the building, that you have your immunizations, and if you're coming in for sports, you need a sports physical. Now, SAISD, not just Rogers Prep, has about 54,000 students that are getting ready to head to the 88 schools inside of the district, and it's not just those new students that have been getting ready for school. There were new teachers. All the new teachers at SAISD got a $100 shopping spree at HEB yesterday, thanks to the SAISD Foundation. Now, like I said, coming up at 5:30, you're going to be hearing a little bit more about the new gym that they have going on from here over at Rogers College Prep Middle School. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and toss it over to our own Patty Santos over at Edgewood ISD. Patty, good morning.
Hey there, good morning. I'm at Stafford Visual Arts and Performing Elementary School. This is one of the elementary schools that's within Edgewood ISD. I want to show you a map of exactly where this district is located. There's about 8,000 students in 26 schools that attend this school district. Now, the theme for this year at Stafford Visual Performing Arts Elementary is Level Up. In a letter that was sent to parents and students, Principal Melissa Machado says this year's students are being encouraged to push past their limits and strive for personal excellence. Now, for parents, she is encouraging them to partner with teachers to try to get their child to learn at their highest potential this year. And finally, she's also encouraging everyone to have a community spirit and to focus on making sure that everyone feels valued and connected. And she tells us throughout the year, they're going to have a lot of events and activities to continue with this theme and this mentality of leveling up. And as you can see behind me here, the school is getting ready to open for the principal and the staff here to start entering the school, getting ready for that 7 a.m. bell ring. We'll send it back to you.
All right, thank you very much, Patty. Very exciting there for Edgewood and SAISD. And as the school year begins, local doctors are urging parents to make sure their child is up to date with all their immunizations.
And staying on track with the immunizations your child needs as they grow up, they will help reduce the risk of contracting and spreading severe infections.
So the State Department of Human Health and Services says that by the time your child enters first grade, they should already be up to date on their immunizations like polio, hepatitis B, and measles, plus many more. And when they get to the age of 11, they will need another round of vaccines for Tdap, meningococcal disease, and the HPV vaccine is also recommended at that age.
It's important to take into account which infections children might be at higher risk for, and also a child's ability to build immunity to those certain infections.
If you have any questions about your child's immunizations, you could contact your pediatrician or family doctor.
Educator of the Month, brought to you by First Mark Credit Union.
All right, we got a lot of teachers going back to school over the next week or so. We want to remind you that we're continuing our Educator of the Month nominations for this upcoming school year. Each month, one special educator will be recognized for the work that he or she does and will receive a $500 Visa gift card from First Mark Credit Union. And this is not just for the teachers, y'all. It could be a bus driver that's made a difference. Maybe Phil Purvis out there, NEISD, did a story on him yesterday, or a custodian worker or a cafeteria worker, anyone who is making a difference at your school. So just scan that QR code that you see on your screen to nominate your favorite educator for a chance to win.
All right, in your morning headlines, a man charged with capital murder of his girlfriend and their unborn child took a plea deal on Monday. Michael Palafos pleaded no contest to a lesser charge of murder and was sentenced to 50 years in prison. In October of 2023, Allison Ceballos was found with a gunshot wound to the head in a vehicle on the city's east side. She was pregnant with a baby girl at the time, and neither survived their injuries. Ceballos' sister tried to make a victim impact statement after he was sentenced, but was overcome with emotion, and her statement was then read by the prosecutor on her behalf.
As you walk out of here with no remorse, and no amount of years you will get will ever bring my sister back. You deserve to be there and never see the light of day.
Palafos, who is a repeat offender, will likely serve the majority of his sentence. However, he is eligible for parole after serving half. Bexar County Criminal District Attorney Joe Gonzalez commented on the case as well, saying, quote, "The actions of Michael Palafos are inexcusable and have resulted in the loss of 2 innocent lives. Our office is committed to ensuring justice for victims of family violence, and this sentence reflects our dedication to holding offenders accountable," end quote.
Moving on to some other.
It's heartbreaking to see this. It's just very heartbreaking.
Yeah, now the latest developments here. This was the site of one of the deadliest shootings in U.S. history 7 years ago. And fast forward to right now, you see right there, the original First Baptist Church of Sutherland Springs. That building is starting to be demolished.
Crews began tearing down the church yesterday. Up until now, the sanctuary served as a memorial to those who died that day. November 5th, 2017 was the day a gunman walked into the church and opened fire. 26 people were killed, including a pregnant woman and her unborn baby. A new church was built for the congregation about a year and a half after the shooting, and many said that the old church was a constant and painful reminder of what happened. Still, though, some families fought to keep the church standing.
A lot of people were against it because they have a lot of memories in this church, joyful memories. Those joyful memories overpower the tragedy that we have. What happened that day, the people that we lost, you could feel them inside this church. Even though they're gone, you could feel it. You could feel the embrace.
Now, church members voted to demolish the sanctuary back in 2021, and after many families legally fought to keep the church standing, a judge officially cleared the demolition last month.
Time now 5:11. We're looking at 80 degrees outside.
Yes, we are getting things going here. Back to school, of course, SAISD, but coming up next, a special first look at our newest KSAT Investigates episodes. A local family trusted a daycare to care for their 4-year-old son, only to find out that an employee punished that little boy in an unusual way.
And right now, we're taking a live look outside at the city. Of course, everybody's starting to wake up right now, getting your day started. Those of you getting back to school, of course, we wish you the best on your first day back.
Welcome back to Good Morning San Antonio. Well, a Jourdanton family trusted a daycare to care for their 4-year-old son, only to find out that an employee was punishing him by making him squat while on his tiptoes.
So his parents recorded the boy's account of what took place.
Oh, they make you put your feet like that? Yeah. They tell you to put your feet like that? Oh my goodness, that is not good, buddy.
The child, according to a June investigation by Texas Health and Human Services, had been removed from his classroom for a timeout and asked by an employee to stand still on a piece of tape on the floor. The punishment lasted anywhere from 4 to 30 minutes.
Like this. And they make you stand like that? Yeah. Do they make you stand like that for a long time?
And then like you entrust your kids into a daycare to take care of these child and know that they're going to do the proper type of discipline. And for them to fail at doing that is that's the saddening part.
The boy's aunt, Lena Moreno, said it was common for daycare staff to isolate her nephew from his classmates.
I would go to pick him up and he would never be in his class.
Definitely a troubling sight to see. So tonight on the Night Beat, the daycare's owner responds, though, to the allegations as KSAT investigates the full list of deficiencies. It is now 5:16. We're looking at 80 degrees outside still.
Yes, definitely. It's some warm out there. Yes, as we take a look at some of our TransGuide cameras, 35 Topperwine, northeast side, traffic moving pretty good there. 37 at Houston, but SAISD, Edgewood is back. Medina Valley, we have got a lot of school districts starting class today, expecting things to pick up on the roads. We'll continue to keep an eye on this and also check in with Justin for your forecast for your Tuesday.
Hey, I'll give you $574 if you switch.
For an ice cream? Okay.
So what about $574 for switching your home insurance to Allstate?
Tempting, but that's way too much of a hassle.
Actually, it's not. Allstate can handle the switching for you. Just call them.
But it's easy and I could save?
And you get Allstate.
Like a cherry on top.
Oh, you brought your own.
Check Allstate first and you could save hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
To stay on top of my game, I need to keep up my energy.
Cliff Bar is purposely crafted with 10 grams of protein and organic oats.
Because the more good you put in, the more great you get out.
Cliff, the most important ingredient is you.
You are bountiful. Your skeleton can support 2 times your weight. It's in your nature to stand strong. Supplement your bones with high absorption magnesium. Nature's Bounty. It's in your nature.
Welcome back. It is now 5:19. Justin just slid on over here.
The camera operator is yelling at me right now. I know they are. Sorry. I apologize.
We missed you, Justin, yesterday. Yeah. Did you miss us?
Yeah, you guys did a great job. That was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. First day of school out there, NEISD. Of course, we have SAISD starting today out, and things are looking okay on the roads right now. I know that kids are still probably asleep, getting their last sleep in for this summer, but if you are about to step outside right now, 37 at Houston, traffic looking pretty good. And let's see if we get one more camera in here. 37 South Cross on the southeast side of town. Hey, you know what? We got a lot of people going back to Highlands High School out there in the southeast side, and 410 and McCullough, traffic looking pretty good out there for some of our drivers. One more shot there of the San Antonio International Airport 281 at 410. All right, y'all. Yeah, it's been very hot outside. Stepped outside for a little bit yesterday. Can't imagine what the kiddos are going through this morning.
You know, I did notice yesterday afternoon the traffic was just a little bit worse.
Yeah.
It's that time frame where the kids are getting picked up from school and traffic just starts to pick up. It's just the way it is. We'll see more and more of that as more of these schools go back to school. Water vapor imagery. Well, we can see that little swirl. We pointed this out yesterday. It has moved west into parts of deep South Texas. Now, sometimes when you see these little swirls, they can kick up some showers, but don't know that we're going to see a lot today. Futurecast does show a little bit of activity along the Texas coast, some of that trying to work inland towards the I-35 corridor, but not having much success. So I would imagine Howattsville to Beeville, kind of the corridor where we could see a shower. San Antonio, I've got rain chances at 10% or less. And once we get past today, rain chances certainly are not in the picture as high pressure really starts to take over. Forecast heat index today. This is going to be a problem. Yesterday, the heat index peaked at 107. So it's no surprise the models are spinning out 107, 108 today. It's a possibility. A lot of humidity out there with temperatures forecast to be up around 100. Be careful. I know we say it all the time, but it is a good advice for today with these temperatures the way they are. As we go outside for you, just a few clouds, 80 degrees. At the airport, 77 in New Braunfels. Thankfully, we are a degree or two cooler than we were yesterday at this point. So there's that. 73 Bernie, 76 right now in Kerrville. Here's the big picture. That ridge of high pressure still sitting over Texas. So everything's going up and around it. You got a complex of storms up there around Kansas, not close to Canada, Kansas, that is rotating around that ridge of high pressure. And as I said, this thing grows. So as it gets stronger, and we kind of see two ridges of high pressure join forces here, that means that temperatures are only going to go up from here. I think as we get into the weekend, we will certainly be above 100. I think the question is going to be is how long is our streak of triple-digit heat going to last? At this point, we've got 7 days. We already had 2 previous days, so it looks like we're going to put together a pretty good streak here. And Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, all above 100 for sure. Today we'll be right on the edge, but last year at this point, we were looking at a streak of 23 days in a row of 100 or above. Hopefully we don't rival that this year.
I know there's only so many ways you can say hot. You know, heat.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Let's get we'll all start singing it next time.
Yes, definitely.
Our grass was all green and now it's starting to get crunchy.
Yes. Yeah. Starting to see that out there. A lot of lawns and yards. All right, guys, 5:23 right now and 80 degrees already outside.
Up next, we're going to tell you how TikTok is adding group chats with support for up to 32 people. That's next.
In today's Tech Bites, Google's major product launch today. Google's revealing its new lineup of phones, including the Pixel 9 Pro and Pixel 9 Pro Fold. The company will also give updates on how it plans to integrate AI into its products. And Google's expected to provide more details about the upcoming Android 15 operating system. Next, TikTok is rolling out group chats. Users can now message up to 32 people in the app and share content together. Group chats are only available to users above the age of 15, and you can can only join a group chat if you are invited by someone you follow. Finally, YouTube Music is launching a new personal radio feature. The shareable playlist is based on your recent music, updates daily, and will be rolled out in stages. Users can enable the feature in settings and share it on their profile page. Those are your Tech Bites. I'm Rhiannon Alley. Have a great day.
So I don't have TikTok, but 32 people seems like a little much.
It does, yeah. I was going to ask you if you're a TikToker at all.
I'm not. I'm grandma still. I will stay like
Same
that.
with me. It kind of scares me, honestly.
Yes.
And I was like, I don't even want to go down that rabbit hole of TikTok.
Even if it's just a text message with 4 people or more, it overwhelms me because I'm like, I don't know who to respond to first. But
Yeah.
I don't know. These kids nowadays, they know something different than we do.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, those group chats can get kind of crazy.
Yes, it is now 5:28, guys. 80 degrees outside.
Ooh, 80 degrees. All right, several more school districts, including San Antonio ISD, Edgewood ISD. They are back in class this morning. Coming up next, we're going to tell you and give you an inside look at how local educators are already going above and beyond for their students this school year.
And good morning. Thanks so much for waking up with us on Good Morning San Antonio on your Tuesday. It's going to be a great day today, man.
Yes,
back to school
it is.
for some people.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of our big school districts going back, including Edgewood and SAISD. Real quick, guys, I got to ask you, what was your favorite subject in school?
I was all about biology. I wanted to be a doctor.
Okay.
So.
Yeah.
Figures. That makes sense. That makes sense, though.
I mean, yeah, he is the scientist here, so yeah, definitely. Mine was English. I really liked English.
Look
Writing,
at us.
yeah. So
all
here
this
we go.
diversity.
And recess, that was fun too.
So boring, man. Just kidding.
Recess
English
was a good
teachers
time
gonna
as
be
well.
Emailing me
Right.
now.
Yeah.
History was off the chain, too. It
History
got
was
real
good, too.
intense as you got older.
And then there was recess and lunch.
Yes.
So
good
the
one.
Either
math
way.
genius over here,
No,
tell us,
no.
you got a lot of hundreds on the board
Yeah,
right now.
a lot of numbers. A lot of numbers. It makes it pretty easy to do math this time of year when these numbers are just the same every day. But that's where we are. Hey, I want to show you a back to school picture. This is third grader and kindergartner back to school. Great shot. We love it. Looking good. And we've got a lot more back to school pictures we're going to share with you this morning. So keep them coming. Thanks for sending those in. Here is your back to school, should say back to school Tuesday. It's not Monday, it's Tuesday. 100 degrees, hot and rain free, and mostly sunny. So basically right back where we were yesterday. There is a very small chance for a shower, but I wouldn't bank on it. The bigger story will be these heat index values that are going to jump up to 106, 107, maybe even as high as 108 here in San Antonio. And that will be for a couple of hours this afternoon. So we are still in this blazing heat. And the tropics, as I said, starting to heat up. We're going to take a look at Ernesto for you coming up in just a couple minutes. But some flashing lights out there. RJ, what's going on the roads?
All right, Justin, let's take a look at our TransGuide traffic cameras. With your traffic authorities, we take a look at 281 at Grayson. Traffic moving pretty good both directions there. 90 Medio Creek for all of our drivers on the west side of town. So KSAT is reporting a crash at I-10 East at UTSA Boulevard on the far northwest side of town. It looks like it's maybe blocking at least one main lane as we take a look at our camera right there. This is going to be on the eastbound lanes of I-10 right there at UTSA Boulevard. So keep that in mind, especially if you're coming in from the La Cantera area, the Rim area, may run into a little bit of traffic delays out there. We'll continue to monitor this situation out there this morning. All right, guys. Well, this morning, SAISD students, teachers, and parents, they are definitely excited about their return to class.
About 54,000 students are getting ready to head to the 88 schools inside the district. Our Devin Karp live at San Antonio ISD Middle School right now to get our first look at the day there. Good morning, Devin.
Oh yeah, good morning guys. So I'm right here in Rogers College Prep Middle School in their open concept library where we've got 371 students that are getting ready to come through these doors and head to class for that first bell at 8:35 this morning. And who better to tell me a little bit about coming back to school than Principal Julie May. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, so I gotta ask, do you have those first day nervous jitters like the students, or are you kind of a pro by now?
I would say I'm pretty much a pro. This is my 8th year here at Rogers Middle School. We're excited to see our students, especially to be able to open up our new spaces, including our collaborative library, our athletic complex, and our fine arts building.
Fantastic. So what do students and parents have to look forward to this year?
They have a rigorous college prep curriculum. We are also launching our college prep model with our 6th and 7th graders this year. And we're also providing students with longer class periods.
Yeah, fantastic. So when it comes to changes and something new in the building, what is it that students can look forward to? You mentioned a little bit of it earlier.
Well, we're standing in one space right now. This is a very 21st century model of a library, open concept. So this is something that became part of Bond 2020. We also have a renovated auditorium. We're one of the few middle schools in the district that still has an auditorium. And then, of course, our extraordinary fine arts and athletic complex.
Fantastic. So we've got these students coming in with smaller classes that are geared to help them long-term in their academic success. Do you have any tips, tricks that you would give to any of these students or parents watching right now before they come through these doors?
Really support students in reading. It's a huge initiative for our campus this year is getting students to enjoy the love of reading because we know that it really impacts a lot of the other subjects.
Fantastic. So that's what we're doing here at Rogers Middle School. Now I'm actually going to go ahead and toss it over to our Patty Santos, who's over at Edgewood ISD. Patty, good morning. How you doing?
Hey there, good morning. This week we are really celebrating educators because we are so grateful for their dedication. Now, as you know, there is a nationwide shortage of teachers, but there's an even deeper shortage of special education teachers, not just here in our area, but across the state, across the nation. Last week, I got a chance to talk to some of the educators that are coming back to Edgewood ISD that have answered the call for help.
I heard that there was a need for special ed teachers, and I've always had a heart for special education, so I'm back.
Elizabeth Bowling is a first-year teacher at Burleson School of Innovation and Education. She knows how important special ed teachers are because she's the parent of a special needs child.
Being in the education field for so long, you know where the needs are, and I always want to be the type of person that always wants to contribute and give the best of myself to my students and to the community.
Special education it's a passion area for me because these individuals, these students, whatever I've taught, have always given 110%.
Pavel Gruber has been in the Edgewood ISD special education program for some time, but the first days of school are always exciting.
Everyone feels a little nervousness, even the students, but I'm very excited.
Burleson is a school open for 18 to 22-year-olds in and outside the school district who need help learning pre-employment or life skills to be able to become more independent. At this district, the average teacher pay starts at $59,000 plus, with a $3,000 stipend for certified special education teachers. Bowling hopes retired educators hear and answer the call for help statewide.
We got to take that leap of faith and be able to embrace the challenge and work together as a team for our community.
And according to the district website, there are still plenty of jobs that they need to fill, including 14 elementary school teacher positions, 6 high school and 6 middle school teachers, as well as police and instructional staff. So if you're hearing this story, maybe this is your calling. Patty Santos, KSAT 12 News.
All right, Patty, thank you so much. Happening later this week, it is Doc Talk, and this week it's all about the kids. You can scan that QR code that you see right there to send us any medical questions that you may have related to kids care. We'll take all of your questions to a local pediatrician. KSAT 12's Doc Talk airs every Thursday at 6:30.
San Antonio Police and Crime Stoppers have increased the reward for information in a deadly shooting. They're offering a guaranteed $10,000 to find the suspects who shot and killed a 4-year-old girl. She was one of 5 people injured in a shooting at a home on the northeast side back in May. This was on Windsor Hollow Drive near Walsham and Eisenhower. Now, investigators say that the suspects were wearing masks at the time and took off in what's believed to be a 2018 Infiniti Q50 sedan. If you have any information about this shooting right here, go ahead and give Crime Stoppers a call at 210-224-STOP. All right, now on to the missions here. If you want to take someone out to the ball game for peanuts and Cracker Jacks, that happens to be on the west side of town at Wolf Stadium, but the missions could have a new location for their home plate coming up soon. The city and county have outlined general plans to move the missions to the west side of downtown, not far from Fox Tech High School. The mayor is expected to talk more about the mission's new ballpark here, proposed ballpark, tomorrow during the city council budget meeting. He is also scheduled to be a guest here for our KSAT Q&A segment during our 6:30 newscast later on today. So we are sending KSAT's Steve Spriester out to the Wolf tonight to see what fans are thinking about this potential move. The missions are playing at home for the first time since those plans for the park became public. And Steve will be out there field anchoring our live coverage from the Wolf beginning tonight at 5, 6, and 10 o'clock. So it's going to be hot out there, but I know a lot of missions fans, they have a lot of things to say about this.
I'm excited to hear what Steve Spriester brings back.
Yeah, definitely. All right, y'all. 5:40 right now and 80 degrees outside.
A longtime downtown San Antonio symbol is at the center of debate at City Council, City Hall. The city wants to hear from you about the horse-drawn carriages. Why the city wants your input, that's next.
And we're taking you outside live cam. All right, SAISD students, y'all getting ready, things to go here. Edgewood ISD on the west side of town. We have got a couple school districts going back to school today, and we have your back to school coverage. Justin coming up here in just a bit, and we'll also check out things on the roads. Welcome back to Good Morning San Antonio. It is now 5:44. Well, are the days of horse-drawn carriages in San Antonio numbered, or will this continue to be a tradition? City staff is expected to present plans next week for how to use these horse-drawn carriages downtown and if that should change at all.
But first, the city has been asking for your opinion in a survey that is set to finish soon. However, a carriage company owner tells Garrett Berger that they have doubts about how it'll be used.
In the 2.5 weeks since it went up online, the city of San Antonio says it's received more than 47,000 responses to its survey on horse-drawn carriages, which includes a question on what should happen next. A full ban and transition to electric carriages and pedicabs, moving the carriages to city parks with alternate hours, keeping them downtown and expanding to beyond with alternate hours, or keeping things as they are.
And it comes out as against us. I think they would say, yeah, this is what the public want. And I think if it's for us, I think they'll just ignore it.
And considering the hot button nature of the survey, she worries about its reach outside the city, pointing to a New York influencer's Facebook post as an example.
I've taken it several times. I'll be honest, I've taken it a lot of times. And if you go onto a certain incognito on Google, you can just keep taking it.
Why do it multiple times?
Everybody else is going to be doing that. And like I say, it's not a scientific survey.
Our security guard agreed to try it out for us. And like Garcia said, it was easy to bypass and submit multiple surveys.
I think that we'll ask those questions and make sure CNE can confirm what sort of numbers we have and what the opinions are that are coming from the surveys.
Phyllis Villagrán co-sponsored the original request to look at banning horse-drawn carriages. But she's since said she's open to some type of compromise that would keep them in place. The Southeast Side councilwoman says the survey will just be one tool.
So I know some want an answer and they want this to be the end all be all, but I'm going to argue that there's a lot more conversation to have regarding this issue.
It's not clear exactly how the city will account for multiple entries, but a spokeswoman confirmed they are tracking IP addresses and collector IDs. Staff will present the survey results at a committee meeting next week. Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News.
All right, I see these horse carriages all the time driving through the downtown area, so this is definitely a hot button issue here. So when the city originally announced that they were asking for input about the carriages a few weeks back, we took it a step further and wanted to hear from you also.
More than 1,900 viewers have voted, and this morning, the slightly majority would be in favor of the city banning the horse-drawn carriages. So you can have a conversation with anybody on the street. It can spur up a debate. I've heard mostly from just my conversations, people want it gone, and then some people understand the tradition of it. So again, you can see the debate popping up.
Yeah, it's definitely a kind of a unique way to see the city of San Antonio and learn more about the history, especially in the downtown area. But yeah, keep those votes coming in because that's a lot of votes that we're getting right now on that poll right there.
It is now 5:47. We're still looking at 80 degrees outside.
Let's take you outside. Trans Guide here, 37 at Houston. Traffic moving along pretty good both directions there. 37 at South Cross for all of my folks, my Highlands Owls. Speaking of another mascot out there, Justin, we're going to check back to school coverage and check in with Justin Horn for your Tuesday weather coming up here in just a bit. All right, it is now 5:50 on your Tuesday morning. Taking a look at some of the roads out there. 151, 410 on the west side of town. 1604 Pat Booker. Traffic looking pretty good through most of the city of San Antonio. The only thing that we're noticing at the moment is that one right there. I-10 eastbound at UTSA Boulevard, far northwest side. So if you're coming in from the Rim area, the La Cantera area, you may run into a little bit of traffic troubles out there. But everything else is looking pretty good, y'all, for the first day of school for SA ISD and Edgewood ISD. It's going to be a hot one, though, out there for sure.
No doubt about it. And we'll see those temperatures skyrocket up to near 100 in some cases. Hey, we got another picture coming in on our KSAT Connect. This is from Cindy, and she says her grandkids are going to kinder, third grade, and fifth grade at Buena Vista School in Del Rio, out in Del Rio, where it's really been hot. But those kiddos dressed appropriately for first day of school and the heat. We appreciate these pictures. These are so great. Cindy, thank you for sharing that with us. Let's talk about the tropics. We've got a tropical storm out there right now. This is Ernesto. Winds are at 40 miles per hour. It's moving west at about 20 miles per hour. Puerto Rico does have tropical storm warnings in effect for this particular storm. It's going to brush by. Thankfully, winds won't be too strong, but it will drop some good rain there. And then as it tracks north, turns into a hurricane, probably a Category 2 hurricane before it may interact with Bermuda, which that can happen this time of year. Bermuda's been hit by its fair share of hurricanes. We'll see exactly where this moves, but this is not forecast to affect the U.S. mainland. It's not going to bring any rain to the East Coast or anything like that. So that's the latest on Ernesto. Nothing else out there, by the way, when we're talking about the tropics. I wish there were, because a lot of times tropics can help to kind of dislodge our ridge-high pressure, or at least bring us some rain, change the pattern a little bit. But we're not seeing that here, at least not yet. 19.48 inches for the year. The normal is 19.1, so we're just a little bit above average. I'm afraid that we're going to drop back below average here soon. Austin's doing really well. They're 4 inches above average. Del Rio, we just talked about the folks out there in Del Rio. They are 9 inches below average. So we could really use some tropical rainfall there. Again, not in the picture yet, but we'll see where the season goes. As we go outside for you right now, 80 in San Antonio, 77 in New Braunfels, 78 in Converse, 73 Boerne, 75 in Kerrville. And the Futurecast, well, we have that little low down there across deep South Texas I showed you earlier with water vapor. So it's possible we could get a few showers working onshore. This is noontime, and then by the afternoon, trying to work a little bit further inland, but I don't know that they'll have much success. I am putting in a 10% chance of rain today for San Antonio, but that may be optimistic, honestly. The best opportunity will be to the south and east of town, and the heat will be the big story. 108 is what it will feel like this afternoon at its peak. Much of Texas will see heat indices 100 plus as that humidity and heat work together to make it oh so miserable out there. High pressure builds and grows as we get into the weekend, strengthens even more, and that means rain chances are completely out of the picture, and temperatures actually do warm some. 101 by the end of the work week, and maybe 102 over the weekend, and we'll still have those heat index values 105 plus. We'll be right back.
Well, it's that time of year again when the Bexar County budget is close to being finalized. Now county leaders want to hear from you. Judge Peter Sakai will be joined by county commissioners to host 4 budget town halls. You can find more information about these meetings on our website at ksat.com.
All right, and still to come on Good Morning San Antonio, several school districts, including one of the big ones here, San Antonio ISD and Edgewood. They are back in class this morning. We're going to give you an inside look at how teachers are already going above and beyond for their students.
And up next, Halloween fans, listen up. It's not too early to start thinking about Halloween. How Six Flags is changing up their Fright Fest for a spookier experience.
I like these changes here. Plus, it makes me think of cooler temperatures. We'll get a check in with Justin here in just a bit during the top of our 6 o'clock hour right now. Taking you outside TransGuide, taking a look there at General McMullen traffic, looking pretty good. 35 Topper 1 northeast side. Hey, y'all, we have got a lot more back to school coverage coming up here in just a bit. We will be right back.